Hello, everyone, and welcome into this week's 30 Minutes program. My guest today is Jeff Cosby. He's the Highway Supervisor of Weakley County. Jeff, great to have you here today. Running the Weakley County Highway Department requires a lot of people, a lot of trucks, a lot of things. Let's just start with, how are the roads nowadays here in Weakley County?
Well, actually, Paul, I feel like our county roads are in pretty good shape. Of course, there's always room for improvement. I get a lot of vendors that come in from other counties, other areas that call on us, and they brag on our county roads. And there's always room for improvement. I realize that. But and I've been to other counties and seen some of their roads, and there's, them are in bad shape. Now, ours aren't perfect by any means, but overall, we're getting there. We do a lot of work. We've recovered close to 40 miles this year, and actually working on some today as we speak. So I feel like our county roads are getting better.
What is the role that the Weakley County Highway Director, Supervisor, you are that person? What do you do each day?
Well, I am responsible for our total budget. I get calls all the time about different. I actually have a foreman that goes out. I go out too, but I have a foreman that goes out and looks at jobs, and we plan the day. We plan what we're going to do. But my biggest responsibility is to get out and look at roads and see the needs and the wants, and kind of line them up in order as what we're going to work on, what we're going to do next, and then make sure we have the money and the equipment and the people to do the job. Budget is a big thing. I have to really watch, really pay attention to the cost.
The average person wouldn't have any idea what it takes to run the county's highway and keep them in shape. What's your budget?
I get about $6 million from the county, and then I get about $2 million from the state.
$2 million.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, $2 million. About $8 million total.
So, and how many men and women do you have?
Got 37 employees. That's everybody. That's counting me. That's everybody. And office staff. I just have one in the office. I've got two right now. I got a trainee, but 37 total.
Well, let me just take you a little deeper to this. So how many pieces of equipment does Weakley County require to be able to do the jobs that have to be done when you're working on them?
We've got about 25 dump trucks. We've got 2 road graders. We've got 5 track hoes. We've got 2 front end loaders, and we have a machine actually that we bought. Former road supervisor bought. For lack of a better description, it grinds the road. It's like a giant tiller. Grinds the road up, recycles all the material that's there, and then we can come in and add more base rock if we need to before we put a new top on. And most of the time we do. It's called full depth reclamation, but it's, like I said, it's just like tilling up your garden, except you're tilling up the road. You grind all that up, mix it back in, add more base rock down.
You save a lot of money with that.
We do. A lot of the county roads don't have a good base underneath them. Years ago they were gravel, and with the funding they had, they just went in and chip and tarred them. It's sort of like building your house on sand. It'll fall in, cave in, potholes, cracks, bust up. So our goal and our aim right now is to try to build the road bases up before we put a good top on. Hopefully, we'll get several more years out of a surface before we have to come back and do it again. And the ones that we've done have really held up good. We used to add cement when COVID hit. We couldn't get cement anymore, so we just add rock, and then we spray with calcium chloride, which calcium chloride helps keep the dust down. It also helps bind all that together, makes it a lot firmer underneath, and then we chip and tar on top of that, put 2 layers of chip and tar, and everything we've done so far has held up real good.
How many people can run all of the pieces of equipment? Can you run them all? Do you know how to operate
I can, but I can. I do some. I don't a lot. I don't have time, but when I'm needed to, I'll jump in the dump truck or jump on a piece of equipment, whatever I need to do, if we're short-handed or, get out on a job and there's something's not covered, I do. I will.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the guys can run everything out there. A lot of them can. A lot of them don't. A lot of them just want to drive a truck, but that's fine. We cover everything.
Yeah, as supervisor, you're supposed to do that. You're supposed to supervise,
right,
to make sure that things are.
Right.
It's kind of like being a basketball coach, if you will. You've got to make sure that your people are doing the right things.
Exactly. And I'll go out at night. I get calls at night. Tree down in the road. A lot of nights I've gotten out of bed by myself, went out, cut up a tree, and got out of the road to save. My thing is I try to save all the money I can. So if I go out with a saw and cut up a tree and get out of the road versus running a piece of equipment down the road, I'll do that. And I do it quite often. All our weekends, nighttime, whatever.
You gave me how many pieces of equipment? 40 what?
About 25, 26 trucks. And then we've got 5 track hoes, 2 road graders, a bulldozer, 2 loaders, and a grinder. We got a backhoe. And we got 3 lowboy trucks that we haul equipment around on, 18-wheeler type lowboy trucks we haul stuff on.
Let's call that repair and maintenance, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you have to have some, parts, pieces, if you will. You're going to have to rebuild a bridge. I mean, that's a pretty big on-take.
And we do that. We when we build a new bridge, we actually contract those out because a lot of that's either paid by federal dollars or state dollars. But a lot of our county, I say a lot, there's about 5 or 6 still in the county bridges that, you drive over and it's got a concrete top, but everything underneath, the structure underneath is still wood and wood pilings and wood caps. And the state inspects those bridges every 2 years, and they'll send, from time to time, will send me a notice, hey, this bridge needs some work. When we've had them shut it down immediately because it's dangerous, we've had to go out, take it apart, fix it, and it may take. We've had them shut down as much as a week or so to disassemble it, fix it, and put it all back together, and then they'll come out and inspect it again after we get finished to make sure it's safe and sound and good to go.
In talking about roads, people today are really, really upset, and this. Highway 22 and 21 and several others in this part of the state, and doesn't necessarily mean it in Weakley County, but here in West Tennessee, we've had 2 things to happen. A lot of wear and tear on state roads.
Mm-hmm.
However, over on the other side of Weakley County, up into Gleason and on into Carroll County and Henry County and almost, I guess, practically I was just trying to think there for just a second, but all the way up to Clarksburg, I know they've been doing work. How come we're not getting any of it? And I know it's not on you.
Yeah,
but what do you know?
Yeah, that's, of course, that's the state, TDOT, state roads, and I don't really have anything to do with that. I know from talking, I would say probably money's the biggest issue. They try to distribute the money around as much as they have, and I'm proud to see them doing what they're doing, but I know there's a lot more work for them to do. And I get a lot of calls about the state roads. People associate the road supervisor with every road in the county. And so I get calls about 22 and 45 and 54 and 190. And I explain to people that's a state road. It's not a county. I'm a county road supervisor. So I don't really have anything to do with the maintenance other than I can call and complain just like everybody else.
Well, let's just move a little broader here for a moment. Put yourself in the position of these people in East Tennessee that have lost road after road after road.
Terrible.
And we're talking about a lot of money, millions and millions of dollars to fix the state roads and the county roads in Hamlin and Cock County, and I don't know how many, maybe six others, 5, 6 more. This is, I don't know if your colleagues and you have had any conversation, but
we've had a little. The Tennessee County Highway Officials Association, which all 95 counties are in that association. So we get emails from our people in Nashville, and right now, of course, they send out an email, won't know if we could send equipment, and if I need to, I will. It's hard for me to send a piece of equipment all the way across the state when a lot of those counties in that region will help out. But right now, the biggest thing they're asking for is money and water and food. But, I let them know, hey, if something's needed, if I've got it and I can turn it loose, I'll be glad to send it. But I hadn't had to send anything. It's going to be billions of dollars to repair what they've got going on over there. They've got bridges that are completely gone. They've got roads that are washed out. Pictures I've seen, it's devastating. So it'll be a long time getting back.
You got to have roads so you can get to the people that are hurt.
Exactly.
Needing house, doctor, groceries, all of those things. And exactly. People don't realize how important. I'd take a bumpy road any day.
Yeah.
If I was in that kind of situation. But that's a horrible nightmare. When
the road is completely gone, our bridge is gone. I mean, you're there. There's nothing you can do. You can't go on. So it's going to be a while. You're looking at several $1 million for just one bridge a lot of times. And so they're going to be hurting for a long time over there. And I hate it for those people. I really feel bad for them.
What's the biggest, if you've just joined us, Jeff Cosby is with us on our program here today, and we're talking about highway roads across in Weakley County as well as across the state. I think the follow-up to this is patience. You're out working on a road, whether it's over there in East Tennessee or whether it's on the highway. I mean, you have to have people to be patient.
Right. You're right. And that's dangerous. It's dangerous work. And I tell the guys, we have a safety meeting every Monday morning. And one of the things I tell them is, watch out for traffic and people coming down the road, because a lot of times they're not paying attention, or maybe they're texting or talking.
Well, you've got somebody that's running a piece of equipment that cost maybe $200,000. Yeah. They got to take care of that piece of equipment and whatever it's doing.
Right.
And yet having to be distracted by other cars coming down the road. Yeah. And I don't think people really realize. A lot
of people don't. It's I've been on equipment myself, and you're trying to watch what you're doing and where you're going, but you're having to watch for traffic too. And most people are courteous, and so it's dangerous work. You have to really watch what you're doing. Watch out for the other guy, because you never know, somebody come flying around a curve or over a hill, and you're right there.
Well, we're in a time right now. There's a lot of agriculture on the roads as well.
Right.
Those are farmers that are and 18-wheelers that are trying to get around.
Right. Yep. That's something else we talk about. School buses. When school starts back, watch for school buses, watch for kids crossing the road. Farm equipment, farmers in the field in the spring, right now in the fall, they're in the fields. And, they're just trying to make a living like everybody else. So just have to watch for them, be careful.
Jeff, as the road supervisor for Weakley County, I know that you care about everybody's on your road, okay? But the children, those buses, and I know they're next door to your office, mm-hmm. and it's a very, very important thing that you jump in here, I guess, and talk to people about bus drivers and school buses, which many of them are now being using propane,
right,
as well as diesel. And there's a lot of things that are going on in the school board. I know they're very proud to have you and the lady that is taking care of the buses and so forth. There's a lot going on right there, and a lot of harmony as well.
There is. And, one thing that really helps us out this time of year, the school bus drivers are out every morning and every afternoon, and they're traveling roads in the morning that we hadn't been out on yet. So they're good about calling in an emergency problem, tree down or something in the road, or problem, limb hanging, whatever. The bus drivers are good about calling those in to us in the morning and letting us know. A lot of morning, I get to the office every morning at 5:30. And I've had bus drivers call me before 6, hey, we got a tree down out here on such and such road. And so that helps us out to know what's going on, and we can respond and, get the road opened up before everybody else starts getting out trying to get to work or whatever.
Does speeding on a country road wear and tear the country road?
I don't know that speeding has a lot to do with it. I think it's more, this day and time, trucks and equipment's a lot heavier, a lot bigger than it used to be, and I think it's more of a weight thing instead of a speed as far as damaging the road.
What's the road tonnage? What can you, if someone's, I'll give you an example. We're going to Hickman. We're coming out of the field, headed to Hickman, and you've got an 18-wheeler full of beans or corn.
Yeah, it's probably anywhere from 80 to 100 tons probably on that truck, and they don't have to cross the scales anywhere. So there, I used to farm. I know how it is. You're going to load it as much as you can load. The biggest thing is the bridge weight limits, though. A lot of our county bridge weight limits are 40 tons, and some are 60. But that's what you really got to pay more attention to is the bridge weight, because you cross the bridge overloaded and it falls in, then you got a problem.
Well, and a lot of the farmers who are taking their crop to Hickman, and there could be other places. You and I both know we know the route
right.
that they're going to take,
right.
whether it's be down the Dukedom Highway or whether it's going to be over on the other side of Weakley County. You know where all of these roads are that the farmers, and we're not on the farmers. We're just talking about road.
Yeah. Anybody. Yeah. It's like I said, it's, the weight. The biggest thing is just watching for the bridge weights, because you never know. Most of our bridges are in good shape, but I wouldn't want to go over one too heavy.
What's the longest bridge that we have, if you know, here in Weakley County?
Ralston Road, the river bridge at Ralston is probably the longest, and it's actually scheduled to be replaced in 2025.
Is this yours, or is this the state?
It's a county road, and it's a county bridge, but it's actually going to be repaired with federal funds. It's on a federal list that we had, and it's actually the last one in the county to be done. But the state will do the design work on it. TDOT will do the design work, and then it'll be contracted out.
County Commission pretty much aware of what the Highway Department does?
They do. We have a Public Works committee, and we meet. They meet with me, and we go over road list, and we go over work that we're doing, and I try to keep all them informed, and and I also tell them if you know a road or somebody's complaining about a road or got a problem, let me know. We'll check it out, and we'll do whatever we have. My goal is to keep every road safe and as smooth as possible. So I'll tell everybody, if you got a problem with the road, just let us know. We'll do whatever we can to try to make it better, try to improve it. I can't guarantee it's going to be perfect, but we'll do our best to make it safe and make it better than what it was, if there's a problem there.
You mentioned, did you say 941? Is that what the number is?
930, about 930. Now we've added about 3 or 4 more miles this year.
How do you add more miles?
Well, if that has to be approved by the county commission. It's kind of a process. Everybody that owns property on that road has to sign an agreement, and then the Public Works has to pass it, and then it has to go to full commission. I can't just add a road, and I can't take a road off the system. It has to be done by the county commission. And then once they do that, then we add it to our road list, and if it's on the road list, we can work on it. That's another thing a lot of people don't understand. There are roads in this county that are not on the county road maintenance list. We have a list of every road that's on our maintenance system. If that road is not on that system, by law, we're not allowed to work on it. That's just the way it is. And we get calls sometimes about roads like that, and I have to tell them we can't work on private property. We can't work off the right of way. We can't work on a road that's not on the county maintenance list. It happens. So people need to know that just because it's out in the county, it's not necessarily a county. If it's a county road, we maintain them. It'll be maintained. If it's not maintained, if it's just a dirt road down through the woods, not a county road.
What's the closest road that you take care of outside the city limits of Martin?
Frontage, right out here, right down the road here.
Tell them where that is while we're here on this conversation.
If you go out like he's going to South Fulton,
passing the radio station and the police station, you're going north.
Go under the overpass here by the Ford Motor Company, and the next road, you got the road that goes up to the 4-lane. The road right beside it, that's frontage road. That's
it's almost in the city limits.
Almost in the city limits. In fact, I think part of it may have been at one time, because the city dumps right out there on Hutchins. Mm-hmm. Yeah, frontage is the closest.
You have mentioned a lot of people that work with you, but you also are, I don't want to use the word losing. That sounds horrible to say you're losing somebody, but you have a member of your team that is taking her retirement real soon. And I know how much all of the supervisors that have been before you, and you are the person who is going to, you're the one that's having to adjust.
Yeah. Landa's been there.
This is Landa Harris we're talking.
Yeah. She's a sweetheart. She's a very unselfish person, very giving person. And I really hate to lose her. She's been there 42 years, but she decided she wants to retire. And so, we wish her the best. She'll be with me till December.
I was trying to think how far back she went, and of course, I was trying to go back as far as Jimmy Freeman.
Jimmy Freeman hired her. Yeah, she's a sweetheart, and I hate to lose her. I won't say lose her. She'll always be around. She'll be a phone call away if we need her. But
and with that, you have a transition.
I do. I have Lauren Griffin, who she was the former mayor's assistant, Jake Bynum. She was his assistant at the courthouse, and we got a new mayor now, and so he brought his staff in, and so when Landa announced she was going to retire, it just worked out great that I was able to take Lauren in as her replacement and my help. And so we're fortunate to have her too, and she's working with us now and training and doing a real good job. I'm tickled to death to have her.
Do you have much turnover?
We don't. We really don't, unless somebody quits or retires. I'm very fortunate. We don't have a lot of turnover.
Jeff Cosby is our guest. We have a few minutes remaining on our program here on 30 Minutes. We're talking about Weakley County's Highway Department. Jeff is the supervisor. He is the administrator of all of Weakley County's roads. Is there one road that's tougher to deal with than other roads? I mean, sometimes. Not
one in particular. We have a few that are highly traveled, Ralston Road, Hinesford, Old 22, Stafford Store, some of those roads that are highly traveled, we call those our main arteries, I guess you'd say. They're more dangerous to work on because of the traffic. But
I don't think that the people in Martin know, and I'm not being ugly here, from Martin to the last road in Weakley County towards McKenzie, I doubt 95% of the people would even know the name of the road or that there is a road over there.
Old 22 you talking about? Yeah. Yeah, it goes all the way to the McKenzie city limits. Yeah, it's a highly traveled road. It actually starts in Dresden down past the sheriff's department and goes all the way to McKenzie. It goes right through downtown Gleason and all the way to McKenzie.
The one thing that I know that you have to deal with in a very professional way, and that is working with the electric company.
Yes.
I mean, those people in the highway department, both, they are almost interchangeable in many aspects.
Right.
When it comes to be a storm,
right.
I mean, you folks are both doing a terrific job.
And they're a very good group of people to work with. From time to time, we call them if we have a tree we need to get down that's a danger and there's power lines in the way. We'll call the light company and they'll come out and help us get it down without tearing the electric line down or breaking a pole. And also, if they're out working and they've got a tree in the road or tree, they'll call. And yes, we help each other out a lot, and we're glad to do it. And they are too. They're a good bunch of people to work with.
Jeff, you talked a moment ago about the roads and the sand and so forth. But when that tree comes down, it damages the road.
Sometimes.
I mean, there is a lot of weight on some of these trees.
Sometimes it will have a limb that'll actually punch a hole in the road, and we have to go back and fix that, or crack the road, bust it up, whatever. So yeah, there's a lot of times we do.
What's on your wish list for the road department?
Well, I'd have to say more money to operate on, so we can keep our equipment up. That would be my biggest wish. That's one thing that kind of sometimes towards the end of our fiscal year, because I have to keep a real close eye on the budget. Our fiscal year ends at the end of June, so I have to start really, really paying attention around May to what money's left in our lines, and every now and then I have to kind of reel the guys in a little bit. Say, we gotta watch this spending here or there or whatever until the new budget comes in. So sometimes it gets tough.
Yeah, from a bigger picture and not just the money, what would you like to have?
Well, I like to have more equipment. Yeah, I love that.
You just bought a piece of equipment, and it was a dump truck. Is that right?
I've ordered 2 dump trucks. We try to replace a couple every year or two. Instead of wearing
how much money did you spend?
$124,000 for just a dump truck. That's a single axle dump truck.
That's one.
Yeah, a triaxle is like $290,000.
I wouldn't know the difference, but they're two different.
Yeah, I'm talking. This is a single axle, just small dump truck, just a little, 10-foot box dump truck.
What do you do with a dump truck?
Well, we haul gravel, we haul dirt, we haul, all our road building materials. That's what we haul them on, and your 10-wheelers are the ones that go to the pit. The bigger trucks that go to the gravel pits and haul rock back to our shop area, so we can keep rock stockpiled there.
You told me, you may not even remember it, but a conversation that I recall, the most important thing is safety.
Right, very much so. We preach safety all the time, and you can't be too safe in our line of work. You hear a lot of times of TDOT people getting run over. We've been very fortunate, and I'll have to say, praise the Lord, we hadn't had anybody seriously hurt or run over. And we preach safety a lot and remind everybody, watch out for yourself and watch out for your coworkers too, because everybody gets their mind on something else sometimes, and so it's safety is a big deal with us.
The one thing that I hope people recognize is that when they see those lights, see those trucks flashing and so forth, that they know that something's happening, right, and they want to try to hurry up and get around it as fast as possible. And right there is where something could be very, very bad. That's
when you see those lights and you see people working, that's when you really need to slow down, because you never know. Those guys are watching, but they're also working, and, they could step out in front of somebody, not on purpose, but it can happen. So if you come up on guys working, whether it's us or state or whoever, flashing lights, that usually means you need to slow down and pay attention, because somebody could be out there on foot walking around and something bad could happen.
Jeff, thanks so much. You're a great asset to Weakley County. I'm very proud of the good job that not only you do, but your team members do. And I appreciate the good roads that we have in Weakley County, thanks to the Weakley County Road Department. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's our program today. Jeff Cosby, Weakley County Highway Supervisor, really, really nice person. If you see a road that needs some work on it, call the Highway Department in Weakley County. Paul Tinkle, pre-recorded. Thanks for listening, everybody, to this week's 30 Minutes program.
You've been listening to 30 Minutes, a community affairs program on Thunderbolt Radio. You can listen to this broadcast and others anytime by visiting thunderboltradio.com and following the Thunderbolt Radio and Digital YouTube page. Thanks for listening.